Right, here we go. In my previous lesson, I think it was lesson 3, someone spotted the mistake. I knew I had a gut feeling there was something wrong with this question, and having had someone point out that I did make a mistake, I've gone back and checked it, and we can see the mistake is here. I got minus 5 times minus 10, and I got minus 50x. So let's just rub that out and put in minus 5 times minus 10 is 50x. Just check the rest. Minus 125 minus 5x squared. That's correct, that's correct, and that's correct. So now x cubed is going to be fine. Minus 5x minus 10x squared, so the minus 15x squared is fine. Plus 25 plus 50x gives me plus 75x in there, and then the minus 1, 2, 5. So I've now corrected that question from the previous stream. There we go, and I'll put a note in on that stream later. Okay, let's go to today's. I think we were here practicing some factorising some tricky quadratics last time. So I did suggest those of you who watched the last lesson have a go before this lesson. But what we'll do is we'll just split them up into 2 at a time, and I'll give you 2 minutes to have a go at them, and then go through them. I'll just do these 2, and then 2 more, and then we'll get stuck into simultaneous equations. Oh, sorry, I've turned off the sound there. I'm just saying these next two will be a lot easier. I hope you spotted the things I tried on the last two and the answer I came up with. These two were very easy because you've got a square number, take away another square number. So what we do is we just take the square root of this, which is 4x, put it there, and the square root of this, minus 7 plus 7. And what you see is you'll get the 16x squared, you get the minus 49, and what you also get is minus 7 times 4x and plus 7 times 4x, which means those two just cancel to leave you just this. Similarly here, this is just going to be 3x, and the square root of 169 is 13. You need to know that. If you don't, learn it, and you just put those in. So they actually become, although they look hard, they're actually a few seconds if you know what you're doing. And the last one, we might as well just finish it off. It's exactly the same. See if you can do. I'll give you 5 seconds to put your answer down because it's exactly the same question. Okay, square root of this is 7x. 7x. The square root of this is minus 6y, and then remember we want a plus 6y. So all the in-between bit that you normally get cancels out. Right, let's have a look at some simultaneous equations, and we'll go right to the very top and start off with something quite straightforward. So I'll give you 30 seconds to have a, 60 seconds to have a go at this one. Simultaneous questions always take a bit of working, so there you go. 60 seconds, see how you do. Right, there are lots and lots of ways to do this question. I'm going to do it a little bit of a different way for these normal linear simultaneous equations. I want you to notice, because this will help you when it comes to the quadratic simultaneous equations, that you've got y and y. So if y equals all of that and y equals all of that, then surely this equals this. So all you've got to write down is 7 plus 2x is equal to 32 minus 4x. And you've got an equation of all x's in. Let's get all the x's onto this side because that will make them positive. So we get 7x plus 2x plus another 4x, sorry. So I'm going to add the 4x because I've got minus 4x onto 2x. So I'm going to get 6x. Adding 4x on this side, I get 6x. Adding 4x onto this side, I get 32. Take 7 away from both sides. 6x. Take off the 7, just leaves me 6x. Take off the 7, leaves me 25. And that's not looking very nice. Have I made a mistake? 32 minus 4x, 7x. Well, no, they've got fractional answers here, so let's keep going. So we get x equals 25 over 6. That's a bit yucky. And now we can find y. Now which one should we use? I think we'll use this one. So we're going to do y is equal to 7 plus 2 times 25 over 6. Now, because this is times, remember 2 is just like 2 over 1, I can do some cancelling. 2 into 6 goes 3. So I've got 25 over 3. Now, the 7 is the same as 21, 3. And I got plus 25, 3. So altogether that will be 46 over 3. Okay. I could check by putting them back in, but we'll keep moving on. Okay. Right, let's have a go at this one now. Give you another minute to have a go at this. This one, use the elimination method. And what I'd like you to try and do is eliminate the x's. So we all do it the same way. So eliminate the x's is what I want you to, the method I want you to do, so as we end up with the same answers I do. Right, there we go. So I said eliminate the x's. That means you need to make the number of x's we got the same. So I'm going to times this one by 3, and I'm going to times this one by 2 to make the x's the same. So I'm just going to end up working over here. So times top one by 3, I get 6x minus 9y equals 9. Times this by 3, times this by 3, times this by 3. And then we times all that by 2. 6x minus 8y equals 14. And so what do I get? I'm now going to call this equation A and this equation B. And I'm going to subtract them, and I'm going to subtract the top one from the bottom one because that will leave me positive answers. You have to subtract because these are both the same sign. If they're different signs, then we can add them, but there's difference, so we'll subtract. So we're going to do B minus A. 6x minus 6x is easy. It is just 0. A minus 8y minus minus 9y is just one lot of y. 14 minus 9 is 5. So y is 5. That's nice and easy. And then we can put that y equals 5 into either of these equations. I'm going to put it into the top one. So we know that 2x minus 15 equals 3, because 3 times 5 is 15. So 2x will equal 18. So that's a bit of a mess. Let's rub that out. Okay, and x will equal 9. There we go. Okay, next one. It's a similar question. In fact, actually, this one is easier, especially if you eliminate the q's. I want you to eliminate the q's this time. I'll give you 60 seconds. There we go. So, if you spotted it, the best thing I think to do is to times the bottom equation by 4 to make the q's the same. So this one we're going to times 4. Times that by 4 gives me 8p. Times that by 4 gives me minus 4q equals 0. And I'm just going to write the other one above it. And I'll call this one A, and I'm going to call this one B. And this time we're going to add them because the symbols are different. Oops, undo that. It's rubber rather than highlighter. The symbols are different. You've got a plus and a minus. So if you add them, they will cancel. So 3p plus 8p, you do A plus B, is 11p. And 4q plus minus 4q is no q's, and that will equal 44. 44 plus 0. So p equals 4. And if we put that into 2p minus q, so we've got 2 times 4 minus q equals 0. Well, you should hopefully be able to see that you've got 8 minus q equals 0. I was going to say q is just 8. Because to give you. Right. Okay. Let me just see what we got and how long we got. We got 13 minutes, I think. Let's jump that one and let's do some overlap with y equals mx plus c. So here we go. Do the first part of the question and then do the second part of the question. 2 minutes. There we go. Right. Now this is quite an important skill, trying to rewrite things in the form y equals mx plus c, because it's a good way to know when two lines are parallel. And it gives us also an understanding a bit of what simultaneous equations is about. It's about finding where two lines cross. Anyway, let's do the first bit. So we've got 2y plus 10 equals 2x, and we want to make y the subject. So let's get the 10 on the other side. So we get 2y equals 2x plus 10. Now we want to divide by 2, and we want to get it in this format. We could, if you're just making y the subject, just do this. But that's not quite that format. So we're just going to rub that out. And I'm going to rub out the 2, and I'm going to rub out the 10, because they're going to change. 2x divided by 2 is just 1x. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So the answer is y equals x plus 5. Now what you'll notice is this is the same equation. And this is the same equation because all we've done is rearrange it. So we could use this. Okay. We know that y equals x plus 5. So why not replace the y with x plus 5? There are other ways to do this simultaneous equation. You might have done one of them. But that was the whole point of the question. Use what you've done before to make the question easier. So we're going to do that. We're going to write 3x minus 7 from here. And we've got the y. And we know that y is x plus 5. So put that in. So if we were writing this out, we might call that equation A, that equation B, and that equation C. What we are doing is we're put C into B. That's what we're doing. And the put is not really the maths word. We usually use the word substitute equation C into B. But I'll just make it simple. Put C into B. And that's what we've done. We've put the y bit, which is x plus 5, in for y. And we're going to now add 24 equals 0. Scroll down. Not much more space. So I'm going to get, multiply out the brackets. You should do, because then you'll make less mistakes. Minus 7 times 5 is minus 35. Plus 24 equals 0. So I get 3 minus 7x is minus 4x. Minus 35 plus 24. That's going to give me 6 plus. Well, it's not very nice, is it? Just check out, made a mistake. Minus 7 is 5, 24. Can't see any mistakes. All right, maybe it's just. Oh, there are fractional answers. Cool. So every time you get fractional answers, it's always worth just having a quick check for your work to check you haven't made a mistake. So we've got 5 plus 6 is minus 11 naught. So we're going to get x, when you've done all of this, is 11 over 4. You can times through out by minus 1 to get 4x plus 11 equals naught. And you get, oh, made a mistake. Good job, I did do it properly. There we go. And you'll get minus 11 over 4. Okay, so we've got, I'm going to rub that out. It's not quite, don't like that, because now it equals, I was going to write it out again. There we go. And now, so we've got x is minus 11 over 4. Now, the easy way to find y is to use this equation here. So we'll use that equation there. So we know that y equals x, which is minus 11 over 4 plus 5. 5 in terms of quarters is 20 quarters. Just rub that out and change it to 20 quarters. Times 5 by 4, we get 20. 20 divided by 5 is, sorry, made a mistake again. Cool, having a good day, aren't we? There we go. So 20 over 4 is 5. Add those together gives me 9 over 4 as my answer. Okay, here's another one for you, just similar for you to have a go at. So I'll leave that one out. You can have a go at that on your own. How about this one? Let's see if you can do the whole of this question. This is all about simultaneous equations and using the graph to find some answers to estimate your solutions to your equations. So let's give you, shouldn't take too long. You've got to draw a line though. We'll draw this line here. See if you can get some estimates for your answers. I'll give you a minute to do this question. Right, somebody spotted the mistake. I'll go back and check it. Thank you for that. Right, let's just finish this one first, and then we'll go back and check the mistake. So, we want to draw the line y equals 2x plus 3. Just put some values in. Naught's always a good one. So put naught in, you get 3 out. Yep, x is naught, but then you get y is 3. Put 1 in, and you'll get 5 out. Let's put minus 1 in, and if you know your gradients, you know it's going to go down by 2 each time because the gradient's 2. There's another way of quickly getting the rest of the answers. You could just put the other answers in and you could work them out. And We're not really going to get estimates, we're actually going to get exact values. And drawing a straight line on here can be a little bit tricky. I'm just going to try and draw it freehand. Forgive me if it's not perfect. There you go. There's a dodgy freehand straight line. That's a line of y equals 2x plus 3. Obviously, if you do it, it's important you use a ruler. So we've got y equals 2x plus 3, and we want to find the solutions. Well, the solutions are where the graphs cross. So they cross where x is minus 3 and x is 1. So x is minus 3 and x is 1. And the y value for the minus 3 is also minus 3. And the x value for 1 is, y value for 1 when x is 1 is 5. How many pairs of solutions for simultaneous equations 6 minus x squared minus 4x plus 11? We're going to find some points that we can actually draw on this graph, and there's not many. Sorry. So we're going to put 0 in, it doesn't fit on. Put 1 in, we get 7. Okay, and minus 4, 4 of 11 is 7. So at 1 we're going to get 7, so there's a point. Put 2 in, it's going minus 4x, you should know that goes down 4 then, for every 1 we go along. And I'm going to go down another 4 for every 1 we go along. And then we're going to go down another 4 for every 1 going. And what you should realise is, drawing these up, they're at the closest point here. Now for the closest point here, because this is a quadratic, this is going to get steeper, and this one's not going to get steeper. It's going to stay in the same gradient all the way. So therefore they will never cross. So there are 0 solutions to these two graphs crossing. Let's go back. And he said it was minus 5, and he's quite correct. Well spotted. Right. So we should have a minus there. That's going to change the whole thing. Should probably leave you guys to work it out. So we're going to get a minus 5 there, and we're going to get a minus 5 here, which means you get a plus there. And I should have spotted that weren't that particularly nice. Anyway, get plus 35 plus 24. It's 59. Well, that's worse. Minus 7. It's 5. Okay. So that gives me 59. Not even an even more unpleasant number. Minus 59 plus 59. Get 59 over 4. And we can rub this out over here. So we can get 59 4 there. So that gives me 79 over. This is the fun of live streaming. Mistakes come out all over the place. And I wonder if my students have spotted any more mistakes. I'm not totally convinced by those answers, but I can't see any other mistakes. So 59 over 4, 79 over 4 is what I get. Okay, let's carry on. I think this is our final question today, so that's good timing. Now for a tricky one, it says. There we go. The graph shows y equals ax squared plus b in a line. Write down simultaneous equations of a and b from the graph. Yes, this is a tricky one. 2 minutes is probably going to be enough, but it'll be enough for you to get a start on it and have an idea, see how you get on, and I'll basically finish it for you. And if you don't get it out, leave it for a week and have another go and see if you can do it in a week's time. Okay, see if you can remember how we did it. If you're struggling, I'll give you a hint. You have an x and a y value here. I have an x and a y value here. Put into here. Get your simultaneous equations. Okay, right. So this is the hint. We know we have an x value here we could put in for x, and we have a y value here that we can put in for y. So let's do that. So x is -3. Let's put the y in naturally first. 12 equals a, and the x is -3. -3 squared is 9, and it's better written as 9a than a9. So let's write 9a plus b. And the other one we put 2 and 2 in. So 2 equals, and 2 squared is 4, so that's 4a plus b. And if we subtract equation b from equation a, so we do a minus b, that will cancel out the b's because they're exactly the same. And 9a minus 4a is 5a, and 12 minus 2 is 10. 9a minus 4a is 5a. So therefore 2 will equal to a. And then once we've done that, we can put 2 into here. So we get 2 equals 8 plus b. Subtract the 8, you get -6. And for those of you who know your quadratics, oh, actually, just giving it away. I was about to say -6 will be that value right down there, which gives you a value of y at turning point. Another way you could do it, if you can't spot, if you didn't know that was -6, we now know that the equation is y equals 2x squared minus 6. The turning point here is clearly on the y-axis, so the x value here, x equals 0, all the way down here. So you put 0 in there. 0 squared is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. Take away 6 gives us -6. Okay, so there we go. Our final question in this series. Okay, do make sure you finish all the questions on these sheets, and I'll try and remember. There's a couple, I think. There's another one here. I've not put the links in for you to do more practice. I will do so over the next few days. So you can go away and know if you have My Maths, you can make up lots more questions. If you don't have My Maths, then just rub out or just get a copy of this sheet. I'll make sure there's blank copies as well in the notebook, and you can just have another go at them and compare your answers. Thank you.